Terran mech is way too strong. Every Terran on the ladder is playing mech now, and I've tried everything to beat it, but to no avail. In this game our openings were even despite taking some early damage as he lost a lot of mule mining time. I went for Hydraling Bane as I thought he was messing Cloaked Banshee. My goal was to keep the pressure on, so I threw an early two-pronged attack at him. It crushed his eco, and he ended up losing his third due to bad macro. I knew I had to win quickly, so after catching him in a nice round, I pushed my advantage. I had him on the ropes, but he barely survived. Having both Blue Flame and Thors, he had everything he needed to roll over me. My links melted, and my Hydras were squashed. Even with my macro hatch, I couldn't recover. So tell me, Captain, is there anything that can be done? Is Terran mech IMBA, or do I suck? Now this balanced complaint form got sent by BJHO. On the North American server, a diamond player with 3.3k MMR. And he asked, is Terran mech IMBA, or do I suck? And we'll investigate and figure it out together. A great little line that you might have skipped over from the imbalanced complaint form is the line, he had Blue Flame Hellions and Thors. Everything he needed to roll over me. Like, this is kind of an admission of being garbage. This is like, Blue Flame Hellions and Thors are really easy to tech to. That is not like a crazy thing. It wasn't even like he had an infinite amount of Hellions. No, it's literally, he had Blue Flame Hellion and a Thor. It's like, game freaking over. It's like, the guy came at me with a handheld fan and he sneezed in my face and there was just nothing I could do. It's like, well, this is these are not very dangerous weapons, you know? This is not as impressive as you make it sound. This is not how you tell a good story. So I'm already a little bit suspicious. In general, there's some minor jams in that imbalanced complaint form, but let's remain unbiased for now, because I personally, when I play Zerg, also really dislike playing against mech. So if there's one composition I truly want to hand that fat imbalanced complaint stamp to, it would be the mech composition. I dislike mech players. Well, I dislike them in game. Most of the time mech players outside of game are perfectly normal people, albeit a little bit slower than regular people, but still completely fine, you know, regular fine people. Set fine 5 times there, just to make sure, you know, that I don't get stabbed by the group of mech players. I bet they still have Facebook groups as well. They're a bit slow with migrating to new social media. Might still be on MySpace. Guys, Harstem said something mean again, let's stab him. Yeah, then they come out. I've seen them coming from a while ago. Look, they move quite slow. I think I'll be capable of running away from them. There shouldn't be much of an issue. Right. Zerg versus... What is this guy doing? Hello, Jeff? Jeff Festive. That is a nice name. That's his nickname that his friends gave him. Festive Jeff, you know? Because wherever Jeff goes, there's a little party. Good old Festive Jeff. He always wears... What do you call these little hats that you have? When you... Just a party hat, I guess? And you know, when you blow in it, the roller comes out. I don't know what that's called either. I don't even know what these words are called in Dutch. I think this one's just a party hat. I don't know the other one. But you know, they make a noise all... You blow in it. Like a little roller. I don't know what that's called. Festive Jeff, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that name. For all your parties. And weddings as well. It's going to be a 2-base speed opener with maybe a third if it doesn't straight up die to this Reaper. Reaper shows up. No, hatchery just goes down. Very late hatchery. I don't quite know why. We also had double Overlord and an insanely fast lair. I'm not quite sure why we're rushing out that lair, but maybe to rush out... I don't know, actually. Mute. It's not really a 2-base Muta build. Well, it could be 2-base Muta, I guess. There's lots of larvae available at this moment. Some of them are being used, some of them aren't being used, despite it being, well, there being larvae, plenty of money, and supply available as well. Here we go. 10 workers do get constructed, as Hellion 1 and 2 have now popped out. We have quick stim, so far so good when it comes to the the calls from the Zerg player that is playing against mech. This guy's just opening regular stim. Nice. Third base going down as well. Terran build order is actually looking pretty secure, pretty normal. We get 8 links out right now. which is a bit late. I would have preferred seeing some links a bit earlier, either to deal with the Reaper or to deal with the potential Hellions. It's gonna go for a surround maybe on the Reaper, or send those links across the map. Which is an interesting call, given the fact that these Hellions are now also moving in. When I say interesting call, I mean genuinely quite a bad call. At least both players will be capable of dealing quite some damage to the other side. So we see, what is this? 8 workers going down over here, and here... Oh, we see heavy focus here on the depot. Yeah, okay, there we go. How many was it in the end? 9. Okay, 9 workers. But... Wait. I want to... Sorry, I have to do this. I have to do this, because I remembered this line. In this game, our openings were even, despite taking some early damage, as he lost a lot of Mule mining time. Is our Zerg player really pretending right now that he had any clue as to what was happening on the other side? He A-moved his links across the map, they attacked the depot. These mules could have been mining the entire time. Mules hadn't actually been landed. This CC has 100 energy, this CC has 91 energy. No mule mining time was lost at all. Like, that is the one time that wasn't lost. SCV mining time, yeah, sure. Couple of Hellions going down as well. Is the game even? Probably. Both players are floating about 1k, so whoever spends that first is most likely going to be ahead. But the one time that didn't happen here is mule mining time being lost due to the run by. Like, that is the one time that really did not end up happening here. Or am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. So we have another 20 links going to go in for... I thought they were going to go for another attack, as he saw no units. But he built 9 defensive banelings. I'm not entirely sure what he's defending against, because he's seen that there's a single factory producing, as well as 1 barracks and 1 starport. So what the 9 Banes are for, after just killing the last 2 Hellions that were on the map, I'm not so sure. Okay, now realizes there's no threat, starts sending units across the map. This is a very odd way of playing. This is actually a very odd way of playing. Like, we should be droning up like mad right now. Okay, that's happening. You could have just built 12 links and I think you would have been fine. Attacking across the map when there's Banshees out is obviously ridiculous. It does get the kills on all the Hellions. And forces once again these SCVs away from the mineral line. Although I don't even think that was really necessary. Now what you do is you just build 10 links. No, 8 links. And then the rest drones. Because there's literally, once again, no Hellions out. Okay? That's the one thing we need to do. Double factory going down. Now, our Zerg player said he wanted to go into Mass Hydra because he thought he was playing... Or he wanted to build Hydras because he was playing against Banshees. He saw 2 Banshees, which is a very standard build opener. Do you think he goes for a Hydra all in every single game? Like, just every single time he sees the 2 Banshee openers, like, oh, Hydra Link Bane all in, otherwise I'll play against Mass Banshee. Like, this guy is just a cheeser in disguise, you know? He takes any excuse. You have these people that drink as well, they eat cake, you know? It's like, oh, cake? No, I never eat cake. Except when it's a birthday or at weekends. Friday afternoon, every now and again. You know, there's always an excuse to freaking eat cake. There's always an excuse to eat cake. Just like this guy always has an excuse to play Hydra Link Bane of 48 workers, but with 2 Evo chambers. So far, BJHO has really impressed me with his decision making. Basically what he does is he kills all of his opponents' ground threat, then thinks to himself, I killed all the ground threat, let me build some defensive units in case I get attacked. Then he builds the units, realizes there is no ground threat, is like, wait, why did I build those units? I don't need them right now, let me just throw them away to the other side of the map. Loses all of his units on the other side of the map, then thinks to himself, well, what if I get attacked now? Let me go build some units. Builds the units, once again realizes, wait, there's no actual ground threat. Moves everything across the map, loses all of it. This forever. This is like every morning going out of your house with an umbrella. And then when you look up in the sky, when you're like, doesn't rain. You throw your umbrella in the trash, and as you do that, you order a new one on Amazon for you to be delivered at home tonight. So you can go out with an umbrella again the day after. Like, mate, you should have been a freaking 95 workers at this point.
Impressive.
Legitimately no viable threat has been made to your base, except for the Banshees, for the past, well, ever since the first 4 cars honestly died. Yet what you did is just build an insane amount of units for a threat that really doesn't exist. Like, there is no threat currently. This is just you playing against a Terran in your head. Sometimes you actually see this as well with lower level Zergs, where they copy the unit building times of high level Zergs, but they don't copy the droning of high level Zergs. So they're like, 630, Clem would hit me with 2 medevacs at this. How many was that? How many did we lose into the rocks? 1, 2, 3. No, it's not so bad. But yeah, they just think, well, at 630, Clem hits with 2 medevacs. And they see Zerg players starting to build units at 6 minutes. Lambo building units at 6 minutes. That sounds good. Except the thing is, Lambo has freaking 68 workers at the 6-minute mark as well. If you have 29 workers at the 6-minute mark, and your opponent is stuck on one base playing stim into mech, and won't attack you for the next 5 minutes, you can probably drone up a little bit further, my friend. It's not so, I wouldn't worry so much about that if I were you. Another thing I wouldn't really worry about is what was I gonna say? Well, whatever. We'll get to the end of that sentence another day. For now, we have our fast-hitting attack here with the Hydroling Bane. This is the well-known multi-prong, actually dealing some significant damage. This is actually big. This is a nice attack as well. I generally like multi-prong attacks, especially at this level. If you can set it up, it's so difficult to defend. Attacking is so much easier than defending, majority of the time, which is why I'm also surprised why you didn't see a planetary. Planetary aids so much in the defense. Now, this is the 3rd base, which is going to fall because of the poor control out of the Terran player. And this is still going to get cleaned up. Not being happy with enough damage. He's like, you know what? I want to kill another Cyclone and 2 Hellions and lose all of my links so I can produce 46 new ones. Very smart, my friend. Rather than increasing your eco lead, just hold down that link button again. And I guess technically you have plenty of cash. Technically he has plenty of cash. Also has plenty of gas over here. My goal was to keep the pressure on, so I threw an early two-pronged attack at him. It crushed his eco, and he ended up losing his 3rd due to bad macro. Now, I kind of didn't read the due to bad macro earlier. Like, I'm not quite sure if that's what we'd call macro, someone not lifting their CC. I think that's just bad, map awareness or awareness of what's going on. But it also didn't happen. Like, this is actually just fake news again. My man is just making stuff up here. Like, this CC, it lifted. Now, it is possible that our Zerg player here is only capable of kind of looking straight, and looking up in the air is difficult. And if that's the case, I do hope that our blue Zerg never is going to get a job as an air traffic controller.
Houston, we've lost another plane. I can't see it anymore. It is gone. Code red.
It's like every single time a plane takes off, I'm not entirely sure if that's the gore. The CC just stayed alive, mate. Just floated in the air. Oh no, is it gonna burn down like this after I made a joke about it? No. No, actually, he's just repairing it. Is he? Oh no. Is he actually gonna lose it like this? I'd be so sad. I actually would be so insanely sad about this. This is still, by the way, an okay situation for the Terran here. If he can just get a couple of good kills, there's a bunch of Banshees. If you can fight off creep here, that would be relatively useful. I'm not entirely sure how it's possible that the Terran player has this much supply, but I bet it has something to do with the fact that the Zerg hasn't managed to drone up in the past 10 minutes. Oh, come on, please. No, don't burn down. That's actually so sad. I'll look like a prick with my jokes. Also, he must have watched the replay to be aware of this. So he watched the replay and couldn't find any mistakes after, which is impressive, because there's no way he realized this during the game, right? This is actually a good flank. So I like how the Zerg is playing this. That's for sure. Is Blue Flame here yet? Yeah, it is here now. Banshees haven't fired in the past 4 minutes as well, just flying back with the army rather than A-moving, which is kind of bad. Here we're going to see some disjointed attack into a third base. Every single Ling, making sure to tank the Blue Flame Hellion shots. This was a really bad fight. This was actually probably the worst fight I've seen in my life. All the units that were supposed to do something did the exact opposite. The Lings went into the Hellions, the Hydra shot down a depot, and the Banelings went for a couple of SCVs. They killed like 7 SCVs. This was, I think, one of the worst fights. And the one Thor is out, so now the game is officially over. Everything he needed to own me was there. 4 Blue Flame Hellions and a Thor with 160 HP.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Does this Thor have any upgrades? 1-1. Yikes. 66 workers. Why does he keep... I don't understand this. It's the weirdest order of doing things. He'll get drones, units, drones, units, drones, units. A move into my opponent, units, drones, units, drones. It's like, just get your round of drones. Like once you have your 90 drones, you don't actually need the drone anymore. You're done with that. You know, it's off your plate. It's now someone else's problem. All you need to do is maybe send them over to a different base once one base mines out. It's not like Festive Jeff has been planning on doing any harassment so far this game. Festive Jeff, you know, he keeps it cool, keeps everyone together, because that's how Jeff rolls. Next few Thors here are coming out. Terran player once again just up in supply, probably partly due to the Mew income and due to the fact that he just has been outmining the opponent, really. Resources lost are completely even, but this is the lowest eco Zerg against mech that I've seen in my entire life. Also, the worst unit comp of a Zerg I've seen in my entire life. My man is playing Mass Hydra Ling against Thor Hellion. I feel like with pure Hellion, you would actually be capable of already beating this. Maybe a couple of Hellbats and then just pure Hellion. And Banshee's definitely helping out as well. There's no detection for this up here either. Now the Thors are just ripping through. Is this actually it? This has actually been one of the saddest games I've watched in my life. This is... The funny thing is that yes, the Zerg traded poor in the last fight, but all the other fights were way better than a Zerg usually trades against mech. Usually mech, like once it just is like a 1-to-2 ratio or something like this. Once there's enough tanks out. This guy didn't even play tanks. He just actually built. He played battle mech with Thor Hellion. I've never seen this before in my life. Started with Cyclone Hellion Banshee, then just went into Thors and A moved across the map. This is absolutely fabulous Thors. I didn't know this could work. I am loving the spine crawlers over here. That's 3. Definitely contributing to the fight as well right now. 58 new links on the way as well. The only thing missing to truly complete the circle is another round of drones at this moment. Just droning at the absolute worst moments every single time. And making units at the worst moments every single time as well. Could actually maybe win this fight if these guys don't turn into Hellbats. Holy crap, Lings are good. Now, this is kind of what you could have done as well. If you had any amount of Banelings earlier in the fight here, you just clear all the Hellions with like 8 Banelings, and then the Lings actually freaking destroy Thors. Like, Lings are really good against Thors, and the Thors will start attacking the Lings, and then the Hydras actually have good DPS as well. So all you needed in that fight was just a couple of Banelings, and you probably still would have won, well, I don't want to say won the game, but at least you would have won that fight. Winning the game probably requires a skill set that you don't quite have, and I'm not quite sure if you will ever acquire it in your life. Another surround on these Thors. I mean, this should be... In a way, this is kind of empowering, you know? That freaking 20 Lings are taking out 3 Thors. Like, This is the confusing part to me, okay? Very often I get replays, and I know for a fact that these people haven't actually watched the replay. But here I know that BJHO has watched the replay because he talked about that 3rd CC burning down, okay? Like, he wasn't aware of that otherwise. So he watched the replay and then comes out with the line, "So tell me, Captain, is there anything that can be done?" Like, he's tried everything and he just can't think of anything right now to help him improve in this situation. It's like his macro has been terrible the entire game. He was legitimately... How much gas were you floating? He was floating 6k gas in the end. 6k gas. Okay. Why would he need that? My man was playing Mass Ling majority of the time anyway. He lost 343 links. Like, you could have mined so many more minerals rather than that gas, and you probably would have had some pretty okay fights. All the fights were executed terribly as well. That's number 2. The timing of droning, the timing of links was always god-awful too. Your early game build order made absolutely no sense. And your unit comp made no sense. Like, literally, you did everything wrong. This is complaining that it's cold in your house while you don't have the heater turned on, all your windows are open, and you left all doors open as well. Like, how do I get warm? Why is it so cold in here? It's like, well, what can I possibly do? It's like, mate, just close the windows. Like, it's just so obvious to me, and it should be obvious to him as well. Like, it upsets me more that he watched the replay. Usually I'm happy when people watch their replays and look for their mistakes, but this guy, he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. Well, BJHO, I think it is clear to me that you suck. I'm sorry, but it is true. I don't think Hellion Cyclone Banshee into a Thor attack is necessarily imbalanced. I think mech is very powerful and has some potential, but I don't think this particular map has a whole lot of potential. I think you just completely messed up every situation. So yeah, you suck. That's it. All right, that will be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode of Is it IMBA or do I suck? If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.